right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're talking about college savings hacks.
Oh, yeah.
The good one.
And we're looking at a really interesting article here
Okay.
from Mapping Money. It's called 3 Essential Tips for Saving Money for College Students. And one of the things they're claiming right off the bat is you can save hundreds of dollars every single month.
Wow.
If you just implement some of these really targeted tactics.
Interesting.
I mean, not just vague advice. This is really specific stuff. So let's dive right in with our expert here. The first thing that Mapping Money talks about is budgeting.
Of course.
But it's a different kind of budgeting.
Okay.
Not just sort of tracking what you spend, but they're saying you got to tie your spending to your goals.
I like that.
Both short-term goals and long-term goals. So what makes this approach so effective for college students specifically?
Well, yeah, it's all about psychology.
Oh,
I think we're more likely to splurge if we don't think about what we're missing out on.
Right.
If you know that spending that extra $20 is going to cut into that spring break trip fund or delaying, getting out from under student loan debt, I think we're much more likely to kind of
make smarter choices.
Pause and make a smarter choice.
Yeah.
So it's really about...
You're tricking your brain almost.
Yeah. Saving from a drag into actually getting something that you want.
Right. Exactly.
Which is fun.
Yeah. It's like a game almost. And speaking of being tech savvy,
the
article also talks about using budgeting apps. Now, there are tons of those out there.
So many.
What features should students prioritize? Is it automatic transaction tracking? Is that kind of the key?
I think that's essential.
Okay.
But I also think, look for something that categorizes your spending automatically and visually.
Okay.
Something that provides a visual progress tracker.
Yeah. Makes it more fun. Like, oh, look, I saved this much money,
Like a game.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any apps that you tend to recommend to people?
Some popular ones are Mint, YNB, and Personal Capital.
Okay.
They all have pros and cons, different strengths.
Gotcha.
The best app is the one that you'll actually use consistently.
Right. So it's all about finding what works for you.
Totally.
No judgment if your spreadsheet is color-coded to the max.
I love a good color-coded spreadsheet.
All right. Well, let's move on to Mapping Money's next tip, which is textbook savings.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, this article claims that a textbook costing $259 new could be found used for just $8.59.
Wow.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
Where can students find these incredible deals?
It is possible. It totally is.
Really?
I think a lot of times students forget that their campus bookstore actually has a used book section.
Oh, okay.
And so that's a good place to start.
Okay.
But there are also so many online marketplaces.
Oh, right.
Like Amazon, Chegg, things like that.
Yeah.
And then don't underestimate the power of student Facebook groups or other online communities where people are swapping or selling books.
Okay, so lots of different options out there. Anything students should keep in mind when they're doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that you double check the edition and condition of the book.
Right, of course.
Before you buy it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get stuck.
Don't want to get the wrong one.
Get the wrong edition, right.
Yeah, exactly. Or one that's falling apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's buying used. Now, the article also mentions textbook rentals.
Hey.
What's that all about, and who would benefit most from that?
Oh, that's a good one. So renting textbooks is kind of like borrowing a book, but you're paying a fee.
Right.
A lot of services like Chegg and Amazon offer short-term or semester-long rentals, and that can be a great option if you're taking a class where you're not going to need the book long-term.
Okay, makes sense.
It's always a good idea to compare rental prices with the cost of buying a used book.
Right.
And just really factor in the rental period and any fees that might be involved.
Right.
But it can be a really cost-effective solution for certain courses.
Okay. Awesome. Now, here's a tip that might surprise people. Mapping Money suggests becoming really good friends with, wait for it, the library.
Oh.
Now, I thought libraries were just for, research papers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are they really a good resource for textbooks?
Oh, you'd be so surprised.
Okay.
Many college libraries, especially for core courses, have textbooks available for students to check out.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a free textbook goldmine.
So it's totally free?
Totally free, yeah. get familiar with your library system, both the physical library and their online resources.
Okay.
They might have access to online databases, academic journals, all sorts of things.
So much more than just books these days.
Exactly. And don't forget about the librarians. They are a wealth of knowledge. They can guide you to resources that you might not even know existed.
So librarians are like the original search engines, right?
Totally. Yeah, way before Google.
Okay. Last tip from Mapping Money. And this one's all about cooking at home.
Right.
They're claiming that students can save $150 to $300 a month.
Wow.
Just by skipping takeout and dining out. Is that even realistic, though?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially for busy students, who might not be culinary wizards.
Well, I think it's totally possible.
Okay.
It might sound really daunting.
Yeah.
But I think with a little planning, you can eat well and save a lot of money.
Okay.
Remember, cooking at home doesn't have to be gourmet.
Right. You don't have to be a chef.
We're not talking about fancy five-star meals here.
Yeah.
We're talking about maximizing efficiency and making things easy for yourself.
Okay.
Think simple, budget-friendly meals. Things like stir fries, soups, salads. Those are all really easy to prep in bulk. Right. And you can portion them out for the week.
Yeah, Mapping Money calls that meal prepping. Right.
Meal prepping is key.
Yeah, okay. So what are some key meal prepping tips, especially for students that might have limited kitchen space or equipment?
Well, my pro tip is embrace the power of one-pot or sheet pan meals.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Minimal cleanup.
Yes.
Huh?
That is always a win.
Right. Perfect for portioning out for the week.
Nice.
And don't underestimate the humble slow cooker.
Oh, yes. The slow cooker.
Throw the ingredients in before class.
Right.
And voila, dinner's ready when you are.
Yeah, just like magic.
It's magic. Even if you only have a microwave, there are tons of creative recipes online.
Oh.
It's just about working with what you got.
Right. You don't need a fancy kitchen to eat well.
Absolutely.
So dorm life doesn't have to mean instant ramen every night.
Not at all.
All right, well, speaking of groceries, the article highlights the importance of planned grocery shopping.
Yeah.
How can students resist those impulse buys and stick to their budget at the store?
Okay, golden rule.
Yeah.
Never shop hungry.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you're much more likely to fall prey to those, tempting displays.
Those end caps, right. The chips and the candy.
When your stomach is rumbling.
Yes.
So before you even set foot in the store, make a list.
Okay.
A detailed list based on your meal plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other hacks for the actual grocery shopping?
Okay, here's a hack for you. Stick to the perimeter of the store.
Oh, okay.
That's typically where you'll find the fresh produce, the lean proteins, and the dairy.
Oh, right.
Which are often more budget-friendly.
Yeah, they're healthier too.
And healthier than the processed food, yeah.
So it's like a supermarket obstacle course.
Yeah. Avoid those tempting chips and candy aisles.
All right, so we've got our list. We're sticking to the perimeter.
Yes.
But how do we actually make sure that we're not overspending?
Don't just write fruit on your list.
Okay.
Get specific. 2 apples, 1 bunch of bananas. So you don't buy
You don't overbuy.
too many bananas.
Yeah. And utilize those grocery store apps.
Oh, right.
Many of them offer personalized deals and digital coupons based on your shopping history.
So you're saving money and reducing paper waste.
Win-win.
I love it. So technology comes to the rescue once again.
I know, right?
Now, Mapping Money is focusing on those 3 core tips. But I'm curious, are there any less obvious hacks that students might be overlooking? Like maybe some things that are a little bit outside the box.
Absolutely, yeah. I think one thing that people don't always think about is negotiating bills.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of internet and phone providers offer student discounts, but you have to ask.
Right.
A lot of times they're not just going to offer it to you up front.
Okay.
Same with utilities if you're living off campus.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be afraid to call and negotiate.
So you've got to be your own advocate.
Be your own advocate? Exactly.
Another overlooked area is campus resources.
Okay, like what?
A lot of colleges offer free or discounted services that students just aren't aware of.
Right.
Like, printing, tutoring, even legal aid.
Wow, okay.
So, do some digging on your college website or better yet, chat with your academic advisor.
Okay.
They're like a gold mine of information.
It's like uncovering hidden treasure on campus.
I know, right?
So much of this is about being proactive.
Yes.
And actually asking questions.
Yeah.
Not assuming that things are set in stone.
Exactly.
Okay, now I'm just throw this out there. What about
credit
cards?
Yeah.
Are there any sort of credit card hacks, or is that just a recipe for disaster?
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you're comfortable using credit responsibly, you might consider a cashback credit card, specifically for college expenses.
So one that's targeted towards students.
Yeah, or just one that you're using for, your textbooks, your groceries, things like that.
Okay.
If you're paying your balance in full each month,
right? So you're not
accruing interest,
racking up debt.
You can actually earn rewards on everyday purchases.
So it's almost like getting paid to be financially responsible.
It is.
Okay. But with all this talk about saving, let's zoom out for a minute. What's the ultimate goal here?
Yeah.
Why should students prioritize saving money? Is it just about, not eating ramen noodles for every meal?
It's definitely more than just dollars and cents.
Okay.
I think it's about gaining financial independence.
Right.
And control, reducing stress, and really having the freedom to pursue opportunities that might otherwise be out of reach.
So what kind of opportunities are we talking about?
I mean, imagine graduating with less debt.
Oh, yeah.
That means you have more freedom to choose a career path that you're passionate about, not just one that's going to pay the bills.
Right. You're not just chasing a paycheck.
Exactly. Or maybe you want to travel after college or start your own business or even pursue further education.
Yeah.
All of those things are much more achievable if you don't have a mountain of debt hanging over your head.
It's about investing in your future, both financially and experientially. But speaking of experiences, saving is important, but it shouldn't come at the expense of enjoying your college years.
Right. Absolutely not.
Okay.
College is such a unique time for personal growth and exploration.
Right.
So make sure you're also investing in experiences that enrich your life.
Okay.
Whether that's joining clubs, attending concerts, or simply just spending quality time with friends.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Okay.
Balancing frugality with making memories and embracing new opportunities.
Like having your financial cake and eating it too.
I like that. Yeah.
Mapping money provided a great framework, but we've gone even deeper today.
Yeah, definitely.
Uncovering some hidden hacks and really connecting saving to the bigger picture. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up this part of our deep dive?
I think it's important to remember that financial literacy is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
There are going to be ups and downs.
Yeah, it's like.
But the key is to keep learning, stay curious,
right,
and never be afraid to ask for help.
All right. So it's like they say, knowledge is power.
Right, exactly.
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is about setting yourself up for success even beyond graduation.
Oh.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Graduating with less debt, that means more freedom to choose a career that you're actually passionate about.
Not just one that...
just chasing a paycheck.
Right, exactly.
Or imagine having the financial cushion to travel after college.
Oh, yeah.
Or start a business, or even go back to school. All of those things are much more achievable when you don't have that mountain of debt.
It's like they say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Absolutely.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
College life is busy.
It is.
How can students actually take all this information and actually implement these tips without getting overwhelmed?
I think it's about starting small.
Okay.
Pick one thing from today that resonates with you.
Right.
Maybe it's downloading a budgeting app.
Okay.
Setting a realistic savings goal.
Right.
Or committing to cooking, like one extra meal at home each week.
Okay.
Little changes add up.
So it's about progress.
Yeah.
Not perfection.
I love that. Yeah.
But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, which is student loans.
Okay.
For a lot of students, that's just a reality. Yeah. Any advice on kind of navigating that tricky landscape?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, understand your loan terms, know the interest rates, payment options, and any potential benefits or forgiveness programs that might be available to you.
Okay.
There are so many resources out there to help you with this.
Yeah, where do you recommend people go?
Your financial aid office can be a huge help.
Okay.
And websites like studentaid.gov provide a wealth of information.
So you're not alone.
You're not alone, exactly.
It's a team effort.
It is.
Just like we've been saying throughout this whole deep dive, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap up this section, any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
I think it's important to remember that financial well-being is a journey, not a destination. You know, there will be times when you overspend, when you maybe miss a payment, or you feel completely overwhelmed.
That's life.
It's life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
What matters is that you keep learning,
Okay.
keep adjusting, and keep striving to make choices that align with your values and your goals.
You got this.
You got this.
All right. And remember, we're here to support you on that journey.
Absolutely.
All right. So we've talked about all these great tips, but let's zoom out for a second.
Yeah.
What's the real value of getting a handle on your finances in college? Is it just about avoiding ramen noodles for every meal?
It's way more than that.
Okay.
It's about setting yourself up for success.
Right.
You know, way beyond graduation.
Okay.
Like graduating with less debt.
Yeah.
That means you have more freedom.
Right.
To choose a career path that you're passionate about.
Oh, okay.
Not just one that's going to, you know, pay the bills right away.
So you're not just chasing a paycheck.
Exactly.
You can really focus on what you love.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think also, you know, having that financial cushion, it gives you the opportunity to travel or start that business that you've always dreamed of, or even go back to school. You know, all of that is so much more achievable when you're not weighed down by that debt.
Yeah, it's like an investment in your future.
Absolutely.
But let's be real, college is busy.
Oh, it is.
How can students actually integrate these tips without getting completely overwhelmed?
I think it's all about, again, starting small. Could just pick one thing from our conversation today that resonates with you.
Okay.
Maybe it's finally downloading that budgeting app.
Yeah.
Or setting like one small but realistic savings goal.
Right.
Or even just committing to like cooking one extra meal at home per week.
Okay, so just baby steps.
Yeah, little changes can create huge momentum.
So it's all about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about student loans.
Oh, of course.
You know, for many students.
Right.
That's just a reality.
It is.
Any advice on navigating that kind of tricky landscape?
I think first and foremost, understand your loan terms.
Okay.
Like really know your interest rates,
Okay.
your repayment options, any benefits or forgiveness programs that you might be eligible for.
Right.
There are so many resources out there to help with this.
Yeah, like where would you recommend people go?
Your financial aid office is a great place to start.
Okay.
And also websites like studented.gov.
Right.
They offer a wealth of information.
Okay, so just remember.
You're not alone.
You're not alone in this.
Yeah.
It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
Just like we've been saying this whole time.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
It is.
Okay, before we wrap up our deep dive today,
all right,
any final takeaways for our listeners?
Financial well-being is a journey. It's not a destination. There are going to be times when you overspend, when you miss a payment.
Yeah.
Maybe even times when you feel totally overwhelmed.
That's life. It happens.
It's life, yeah.
Yeah.
What matters is that you keep learning.
Okay.
You keep adjusting.
Yeah.
And you keep striving to make choices that align with your values.
Right.
And ultimately, your goals.
You got this.
You got it.
All right. And remember, we're here to support you on that journey.
Absolutely.
So don't forget to share your own college saving tips or any questions you might have on social media using hashtag #DeepDiveCollegeSavings.
Great.
We love hearing from you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on another deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those savings growing.
See you next time.